The purpose is just to show you how to do an easier way to trim your hair. Not how much to trim off, okay? Welcome back to the Normalized 2012 YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be focused on trimming natural hair. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can trim your hair. Number one, definitely going to a stylist if you don't trust yourself. I talked about the search and destroy method, and I've linked that in the cards so you can see how I do that. Some people put their hair in twists and then just trim off the twists or off braids. So what I'm gonna do is it's a mixture of a couple different methods actually. So I want my hair to be completely stretched. Because I'm not putting heat on my hair, I'm not blow drying my hair. And then we're gonna move on to actually trimming my hair. So in order to do the method we're gonna use today, I have two recommendations. The first one is to do the search and destroy method on your hair, which is go through your hair and clip off any obvious split ends that you see or fairy knots. The second method is that you look at the ends of your hair, do an assessment of your hair, and see how far up you see split ends across multiple strands. If you only see it like a quarter of an inch up or about a half an inch or an inch, then you cut that much of hair all around your head. And so because my hair is not in layers, it's all one length, it'll be a little bit easier to do this method. If you have layers, then you'll just make accommodations for those layers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take down these. And so the method I'm doing today, because I'm doing this really quickly, my hair is like super dry and it's dying for a wash right now. And so I wanted to do something real quick. I would have done a search and destroy method, but I don't have time for that. So I would do that after the fact if I find any other split ends. Just if I'm like sitting down and I notice something, then I'll just cut it. But today I did an assessment of my hair, and I saw that some pieces of my hair only had like, so let's say this is an inch, right? Some of my hair strands only had like this part was a split end. Some of them was up an inch. So I'm gonna be cutting at least an inch off of my hair all the way around today, so that I can keep the same length. What you're gonna need is obviously some really good cutting shears. So I went to Sally's and I picked up these, I guess it's called FROMM, F-R-O-M-M, cutting shears, and it says easy cutting and trimming. So got these. These were about $21. I forgot to get some hair bands, so you're gonna need a bunch of hair bands. We're gonna make some accommodations today since I don't have any. You're gonna need a comb. I don't use combs in my hair, but I have it just in case. And I have this small one, and I'll explain more later. All right, so I'm just gonna take these down. Also, I have my spray bottle just in case we need it to elongate our hair. And again, I wanna say, definitely go to a stylist if you don't trust yourself cutting your hair. I am not a professional stylist, so use this method at your discretion. And another thing with this method, I would have wanted it to be, yes, I have it stretched out so I can, see the length of my hair and see how it all flows. But I would like to have less texture. And the way to do that is, instead of keeping my hair in these plaits, I would have just worn my hair in a bun to stretch it out to get some of this texture out. So that's why we have these, we're gonna need some bands today, but we'll make it work. I haven't had an actual trim since the last trimming video, which is when I had the straight hair. I believe that's when I had the straight hair. So back in, I guess, July. Only thing I've done since then is I've done a search and destroy, and I haven't done it extensively. Well, I did it before we did the protective style challenge. Did I cut my trim in August? I have to go back and look at the videos, but I did do a search and destroy before we did the protective style challenge. So the main thing is that my roots are, pretty stretched out. I mean, they're pretty stretched. Can't get more stretched than that. Not even with a blow dry. So that's the main thing, that my roots are stretched. So my hair, the way my hair flows, it flows down the middle and it's all the same length this way. So I am going to make sure my part is even in the middle of my head, or as even as possible. And I've used So far, I've used all the methods that I've listed in this video on how to trim your hair. So I've gone to a stylist twice, and I've gone to, I've done, trimming with your hair in a twist. And I don't really like that method that much because you may cut off too much, or you might not get all your split ends because everything's twisted. And and depending on, how much your hair is in the, same length. All right, so I got it split down the middle. And then I'm gonna do it in 4s. So separate the top half from the bottom half of my hair. All right, so they're in 4 parts. So I'm just gonna separate this just a little bit to get some of the bulkiness out. And like I said, the best way to get some of the texture out was if I would have just bunded my hair instead of keeping it in the plaits. So I'm going to band my hair at the root here. All right, and these are ouchless bands, okay? All right, so if you had layers, so I would just suggest that you separate your hair based off those layers. So if your back of your hair, and then, if you had like the middle part and then the front, however your layers fall, just separate it based off of that. And I'm just gonna stretch the hair, making sure all the strands are completely straight and not curled up. I'm just kind of working my thumb through. If I had more bands, what I would do is I would band it here and then band it and band it. But I don't have any more bands but one more, and I need it for the end. So if you were doing this, you would band it here so it was taut, band it there, band it all the way down. Like I said, we're compromising here. Do this side. And again, the main goal is to just get the majority of the dead hair off that I need off. And then at a later time, I'll go back and do a search and destroy for pieces that, for some of the hair pieces that might, stop up here, like this one, and see if there's split ends on those. But the main thing is that I want to make sure that my ends are no longer raggedy, because they are very raggedy. So I have to do it this way because I only have one band, right? But if you had multiple bands, then I would just suggest you band both sides, and then at the very end you put them at the same evenness, and then you cut from there. But we're gonna have to do it this way since I don't have any more bands. And this will work on any length hair. Like I said, if you're doing the bands, if your hair stopped here, then you would, stop the band where you want it, and then you cut, the amount you want to cut, okay? I'm gonna band my hair here. All right, so if you wanted to use a comb here, you could, to comb it out, gently comb it out, either a small tooth or a wide tooth comb. But I'm just gonna, use my fingers as much as I can here. All right, I'm gonna scoot it down some more. And again, like for example, like some of these pieces here, like some of the shorter pieces, that even the stylist, necessarily wouldn't get, because I've gotten trims 2 times and I've always, we're left with split ends, because you don't get them all. The only way to really get them off, you do a really thorough search and destroy, and I don't want to do that right now. Just kind of looking at my ends to see if there's any ones that are, so far the ones that I see kind of poking out don't have split ends on it. But as you can see, like this hair just looks, I don't know if you can really see that, but it's just real straggly and raggedy looking. All right, I'm just gonna gently kind of comb through it just a little bit. And my hair is already fully detangled from me having a twist out that I detangled really well, and I haven't did anything with my hair for it to get tangled up. So, all right, so I pulled it down a little bit more. I'm very conservative when it comes to my hair, and I probably need to cut all this mess off, right? But, you know, all strands matter, okay? All right, I'm just making sure I don't. All right, so I am going to cut, and I'm gonna just comb that part out again. All right, so I'm just showing you that it's even. All right. All right. I'm just trying to get to as close to the when it starts to get really see-through. So I'm going to do this amount. So it's some of this is, you know, more than an inch. That's like more than that, but all of this is basically see-through hair, and I could round it if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut straight across. Oh Lord, I don't want to cut my hair. I don't like cutting my hair. But the ends though, they're raggedy. All right, so I'm just gonna do a test because I don't like cutting my hair. So I'm just gonna cut this part because I know this part just needs to go. So I'm just gonna trim that off. All right, ooh, that looks pretty. All right, so I see all the split ends. I see all of them. They look horrible. All right, so I'm just gonna hold this together. And I'm gonna cut all of this off. So, like 1.5 inches off. So I'm gonna cut this off. Whoa. So technically I need to cut all this off because I see all the split ends. I'm being really conservative though, y'all. Okay, I'll just cut just a little bit more. Oh Lord. Gonna cut a little bit more. If you're not, I'm conservative. If you're not as conservative as I am, then I'm gonna cut below the whole band there. But all strands matter to me, even the split ones. But my ends though, them must feel nice. I'm just gonna look at them. See any split ends, no, any obvious signs of split ends. It's even. All right, so let's do the front. So I cut about 1.5 inches off, and honestly, to be real honest with y'all, I can stand to lose maybe 2 or 3. But all strands matter, okay? All strands matter. So I'll just go back and do the search and destroy. But since I don't wear my hair straight, there's really no need for me to like go all out right now. But my ends though, when I wash my hair, it's gonna be like butter. It's gonna be like butter. Sorry, y'all can't really see my arm, huh? Trying to make it as bright as possible so y'all can see. Technically, I can do this in 3 sections and have my front, but I'm not gonna do that because this very front part is a different length. I probably should, but I'm just gonna make it work. All right, so like I said, my roots are already pretty stretched out. It's pretty taut. Be careful with the edges. So I'm just gonna get some of these big chunks out. And again, as a reminder, if you had more bands than I do, then you would band it, you know, band it all the way down to keep it taut. So I'm kind of stuck with doing it this way. And again, like I said, I will cut it separately, evenly, but I don't have another one of these, so I'm doing it together. So I'm gonna put this on here. All right, just kind of check. See, like for example, so this is a shorter piece and there's a split end. So like I said, later on, I will go, or another day, I will go through and do a search and destroy. So as you can see, it's a mess, right? So I'm just gonna kind of comb the ends out a little bit gently. Front of my hair needs the most cut off, but like I said, all strands matter, huh? The purpose is just to show you how to do an easier way to trim your hair, not how much to trim off, okay? I'm gonna do this one a little differently because my front, it needs some help. So, do some search and destroy right here. This is a shorter strand there. So I'm just gonna pull it down a little bit. I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna probably do these two separately because these strings are not all created equal. And when I did my length check, this recent length check, this side is 28, this side is 29. So it's already an inch off, but I'm going to, see that? It's just a mess. I'm just gonna trim that off there because it needs to just go. Look at that, looks so much better. So I'm going to just cut, since like I said, since these two sides are different lengths, I am going to do it separately. You can use the band again, but I'm just gonna do it this way. The same over here. Like I said, my front, it needs some work. It can lose quite a bit, but then I don't want a short layer in the front. So we will just search and destroy this another time. All right. Should have got a before and after, but now my ends, They feel so much better now. They look better. And whenever I wash my hair, and so whenever I wash my hair, it should be like butter. Like it should be, I should be able to finger the tangle easily, much easily now that I've trimmed it. And yeah, what do y'all think? They look great to me. They were really straggly. So this is all that I have for y'all in this video. Let me know if you're gonna try this method or have done this method before in the comments. So I just want to show you how much hair I trimmed off. So not a whole lot. Like I said, I could have stand to lose a little bit more, but all strands matter. And this is a video on how to trim, not on how much to trim. So you decide how much of hair you want to trim off yours, and this is how much I decided off mine, okay? So this is all I have for y'all in this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.